All right, thank you so much. And speaking of that fog, earlier 15 people we know are recovering today after they were rushed to the hospital yesterday following multiple crashes on the Causeway, a result of the heavy fog early in the morning hours. Today, drivers were at a crawl on the Causeway because of that heavy fog that we experienced again this morning. There were lane closures and convoys all morning to slow people down and help them get to where they needed to be safely. Rachel Hanley shows us what that looked like.
Yeah, things have definitely cleared up on the Causeway. Traffic is moving pretty quickly on both sides. It looks like the convoys have ended at this point, and you can still see some fog over the water, but it's not affecting visibility like it was all morning. This morning was a very, very different story. We got out here around 5 o'clock, and for hours, the visibility was close to a quarter of a mile, if that. Even just standing here on the levee, we could see how dense the fog was for drivers on the Causeway. We saw convoys all morning on the southbound side, which was really slowing down traffic for commuters. It's been down to one lane on both sides all morning, so definitely a very significant fog event here on the bridge. Thankfully, with all of those measures in place, we didn't see any kind of crashes this morning on the Causeway like we saw yesterday morning. That was just absolute chaos. It was multiple crashes on both sides of the Causeway. It was closed for hours. About a dozen people went to the hospital. Thankfully, nobody died, but since then, officials have been really trying to drive the point home that you have to drive differently whenever there is dense fog like that.
Pay attention while you're driving. The visibility can go from clear to nothing almost in just a few seconds, particularly at highway speed. So it's imperative that all of us put down the cell phones, be aware that there's nothing more precious in life.
Again, like we said, there is still some fog out there, so if you have to drive, especially over a body of water, be on the lookout for those patches of more dense fog. But it seems like the worst of it is definitely over for today, and with the weather cooling off later, it looks like this should not be a problem for commuters tomorrow morning, so that's good at least. In Metairie, Rachel Hanley, WWL, Louisiana.
All right, Rachel, thank you for that report. Restrictions on both the north and southbound bridges were lifted just a short time ago, so you're in the clear there if you're traveling in those directions.